Hi everybody, this is Comics Canines. Welcome back to our anatomy series with episode 2 of Canine Anatomy, a dog's body and tail. We will only be covering the epidermis, which is the outer layer, and covering its functions. I hope you enjoy. The parts of the dog's body and tail that we'll be covering today include the withers, the chest, the back, the loin, the rump, or also known as the croup, tail set, the tail, abdomen, prosternum, shoulders, and the skin and coat. The withers. The withers on a dog is an essential part to measure your dog's height. This allows an accurate measurement when using the withers. The withers are the tallest point of the dog's body, excluding the neck and head. If you feel the ridge between the shoulder blades and behind the neck of your dog, you can feel the withers. The importance of measuring the withers is as follows. For buying the correct size dog breed, to buy clothes and accessories that fit, to get proper sized dog door flaps, to conduct proper training and exercise, keep track of your dog's medical records, keep data for dog shows, to have a positive understanding of your dog, to confirm your dog's breed, and to provide accurate information to others. The chest. The chest, or as the entire structure is also referred to, thorax, chest, or simply the rib cage. This is serving several functions, including the protection of vital organs and initiation of a bellows-like action necessary for breathing. It also acts as a supporting structure upon where the forequarters are hung. The chest also determines the dog's width. There are 4 shapes of the chest. Number 1, the oval chest. The oval chest provides a flat surface for the oscillation of shoulder blades and most common chest shape found in dogs. This chest is deeper than it is wide. It is deep and capacious, never shallow, with ample room for lungs and heart. Number 2, the oval tapered or egg-shaped. This shape provides the same flat surface for shoulder blade movement. Narrowing at the bottom of oval helps to permit leg convergence under the dog's body, especially in the dwarf breeds. Number 3, the round chest. The round chest of dogs like bulldogs give maximum volume for the heart and lungs. With a wider chest, it spreads the front legs further apart, providing more stability in their stance. Number 4, the narrow chest, or the narrow oval chest. The narrower oval chest of dogs varies from breed to breed, and also varies in breadth of the chest. This chest is found in sight hounds such as greyhounds, as it allows the shoulder blade to oscillate more efficiently in their narrower, more flat-sided chest. The climate in which a breed works may also have something to do with the shape of their chest, as the rounder chest has less surface volume per pound of weight, and thus less heat, which comes in handy in colder climates. For smaller dogs, oval chest has a more surface area, which is an advantage in the hot climates. Most breeds will have either the narrow or the round chest, with most having a reduction of chest size immediately behind the elbows, which then expands to full volume, giving maximum heart and lung room, permitting efficient movement of the forequarters. All in all, the make and shape of the chest can have a major effect on the dog's fore assembly. Depending on chest shape, front assembly of dog can be pushed forward or outward and contribute to the motion of the front paws like paddling and such. The back. The back runs from the point of the shoulders to the end of the rib cage. There is more to the internal structure of the back, to which we'll cover in a future video, but this one is just about the epidermis. The loin. The loin is the back between the end of the rib cage and the beginning of the pelvic bone. It is very easy to understate the importance of the loin in a dog, relating to specifically their movement. The rump. Not to be confused with the respiratory condition, the croup. The croup or rump is the hindquarters of the dog, also where the pelvic bone is. Anatomically, the rump corresponds to the sacrum. The tail set. The tail set is where the tail attaches to the rump or the croup. Some dogs may have high tail sets and others have low ones. The tail set can also be called the tail head or dock, or also the base or the root of the tail. Some animals are subjected to docking, which is the amputation of the tailbone at or near the dock. Fun fact, humans have a remnant tail called the coccyx. The human equivalent of docking is called coccygeectomy. The tail. Now tails are more interesting than you think. I could do a whole episode on just tails, but these are some of the fun facts that you need to know about the dog's tail. First, they help with movement. When your dog is working, playing, running, or just jumping around, you will notice their tails working to assist with swift movements, helping when changing directions. Their front paws will go into the intended direction, their rear legs will stay in the original direction, and the tail will also then point in the new direction. Next is balance. A doggo's tail will serve as a counterbalance regularly, not only while running. Just like a tightrope walker uses a balance bar, a dog will use its tail if walking on narrow surfaces or uneven areas. And lastly, a dog's tail can and is used for communication. Dogs convey emotion using body language, and this is prominent when they are happy, wagging tail, or sad, I have a tuck tail. Dogs will mainly use their tails to communicate with other dogs, but humans have also picked up on these signs too. Now, wagging tails don't always mean a happy dog. Wagging contracts the muscles around the anal glands under the tail, which spreads a dog's unique scent. Hence why more dominant dogs keep their tails high, letting everyone know that they're around. And this is why submissive dogs will keep their tails tucked, to reduce their scent to try and go unnoticed. Even different breeds use their tails for different purposes. Northern breeds are known to cover their noses with their tails when it is cold out, and sighthounds and other running dogs have whip-like tails, allowing them to change direction at high speeds. And water dogs such as retrievers and water rescue dogs have thicker tails to act as rudders when they are swimming. The abdomen. The belly or the abdomen is the underside of the dog from the end of its rib cage to its tail. The external use of the abdomen or belly is minimal, but the organs housed internally have many different functions. The prosternum. The prosternum is the top of the sternum, a bone that ties the rib cage together, forming the front of the forechest. The shoulders. The shoulder is the top section of the foreleg from the withers to the elbow. The design of the shoulder and placement of the scapula allow flexible steering and strength required by dogs. The shoulder must be capable of flexion, extension, rotation, abduction, and adduction, being able to painlessly and easily control direction with balance. Although the external benefits of the shoulders don't jump out, the internal structure is deeply interesting. And lastly, the skin and coat. Now, although the skin and coat is in the epidermis, the outside of the body, it is the largest organ of a dog's body and has many functions essential to life. It forms a barrier between dogs and their environment, protects from physical and chemical damage, also inhibits infection from bacteria, fungi, and viruses, prevents water and mineral loss from the body, is flexible to allow movement, acts as a reservoir for water, nutrients, and mineral ions, and also for vitamin D synthesis. Skin has two main layers. The thinner outer layer is called the epidermis, which forms the protective barrier. This lies over the thicker inner layer called the dermis, which contains blood vessels, nerves, skin glands, hair follicles, and connective tissues. The dermis supports and nourishes the epidermis and the hair follicles. There's two types of skin glands in the dog's skin. A large number of sweat glands are present, but don't open directly into the skin via pores as it does in humans. Instead, it discharges through hair follicles. The sweat may help disinfect the skin, but it plays virtually no part in cooling the dogs. This is achieved by panting. There are also sebaceous glands, which produce sebum, important in waterproofing the skin and keeping it pliable. Coat grows from the hair follicles in the skin. The hair follicles contain bundles and dozens of hairs, each bundle comprising a large, long, rigid primary or guard hair and several thinner undercoat hairs. The ratio of these two types of hair depends on the breed. The growth of hair is influenced by nutrition, hormones, and season. The dogs generally shed twice a year. However, light shedding may occur throughout the year. The main role of the coat is to protect the skin and insulate from extreme weather. Fur can trap air, providing insulation against the cold, and small muscles can raise the guard hairs or the hackles, which aids in the trapping of air. The raising of the hackles is a communicative threat posture to alert of danger. Thank you for joining us. That is the external anatomy of a dog's body and tail. Now, as always, feel free to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. And thank you for joining us on the journey. We will see you in part 3, which will explain the dog's legs and paws. This has been Comics Canines. Thank you.